Is affordable housing really our problem? No, I understand. Look, there's that Christian point of view where we have to reach out and help those in need. I understand that. I think it goes a little bit deeper than do we really need to help those that can't afford? And I understand that because I have my kids, I have friends that are renters, and they're frustrated. Access to affordable housing is in crisis. So is college, because the government stuck their finger in it and offered these loans to get people to be able to afford to go to school. I never needed it. I struggled through it. We give food through food banks, which are controlled by the government. We give free phones, free healthcare. And I don't care if you're an immigrant. I'm an immigrant, right? But I became a citizen, followed the laws. I joined the military. So, there's that crossover of legality and whatever. I understand because you come here and it's a land of opportunity, but it's not the land of free lunches. Never took welfare. I've never, I came here with nothing. My parents came here. My mom came here with nothing. My mom was a server. She raised us. We were poor, dirt poor, and we still figured out how to make it. And I think the opportunity to get housing is a great idea, but I don't think once the government gets their sticky fingers into it, things go to the left and right. And that's my problem with this. And it's not a liberal or Republican or conservative point of view. It's because the government has all these layers of onions since the beginning of their time, whenever they were incorporated. They continue to put rules and regulations and fees and functionaries and all these other things on top of it. And then they become less effective at doing what they were intended to do, from permits to planning to housing affordability to food to everything that we touch in the government. It turns out to get swayed by the politicians who are in power at that time. And the people in the government, they're just trying to do whatever they can do, right? I understand that. They're inherently good, but they're being told to do this, and then they get told to do that. Next thing you know, your roads aren't being taken care of because that money gets put into a general fund. I'm not critiquing the individual or the political parties. I'm critiquing the government, the way the government's set up. And that's why I don't think we have a housing affordability crisis per se. Because if there was no housing functionary for the people that couldn't afford it to live here, they would commute to live somewhere where they could live. We have all this other stuff, but the key problem is, I think it's the government. And I hate to say it because I love this country. I believe in this government, but it just seems like we put rules on rules and regulations. And I don't feel like we get anything done, especially in high cost of living areas like the Bay Area, like Los Angeles, like Seattle and Portland. You see more and more people coming there for handouts and feeling like they can never get started with their life. And, that's part of my problem is like, yes, we want to give people the opportunity to own homes. But if I was talking to somebody today or yesterday at the dog park, you didn't. And I understand that sucks. I wish you did too, but you didn't. So now you're renting. We always talk about moving. Well, why don't you move? Well, my wife has a job here. I'm like, so what? Get another job somewhere else. Well, you don't make as much. So what? If you move to like St. Louis, your cost of living is a lot lower. Not substantially lower, I get it, but for the standard, you don't have to live and die here, right? Just my thoughts. Ways to expand affordable housing, support low-income housing tax credit. That's for developers, that's for builders. 200, 300 homes together, and a portion, I think 5% has to go to low income. Well, they get a credit for that. It's not because they're doing it out of the goodness of their heart. They get a tax credit. Everybody gets a credit for that. Lower bond financing requirements. Yes, I get that. We're actually looking at doing this thing where there's a massive high rise in San Jose, and it's going to be all low income. I think it's better if you earn it. And that's, I think, the problem with this country is we're going to the government saying, you owe us this. I deserve this. I'm entitled to this. And it's not just this country. I talk to people from all across the world and Europe, especially. Like I know people in Vienna who work for the government, and their people are coming to them saying that I'm entitled to this. And it's not an entitlement. Somebody else worked for that and the government took from it, and now they're giving it to you. That's not entitlement. That's charity. And I don't think the government should be involved in charity. I don't care which president it is. Whenever there's a earthquake or massive whatever in Haiti or Puerto Rico or South America, we're always automatically inclined to throw out millions of dollars in support. But why? They don't do much for us. We're the big kahuna on the block. Yeah, I don't see millionaires doing that unless they get some kind of tax credit. I don't think it's our responsibility as citizens to have to dole out even more taxes. By the way, Santa Clara County just raised their sales taxes again without a vote, I believe. I don't mind being taxed as long as I see that my roads are worked on and that there's no litter and there's no homeless people living on the sidewalks. Okay, let's talk about the other side of the spectrum. This is Los Gatos Home of the Week. It's $13 million, 8-bedroom, 10.5 baths, 12,000 square feet on Kennedy Road. This is the Los Gatos Home of the Week. This is active for sale. Yeah, active for sale. And look, 1288. It's been on market 6 months. Why? Because it's overpriced. $13 million. Yeah, I can see the price value here, but if it's 180 days, 3.5 acres, is it usable? I don't know. Maybe drop it down to 10 million, 7 million, see where it is. That's just my thoughts. Take a look at inside. I was looking at this same house. I swear, this is like something Tesla walls, because, you got to show those off. It's beautiful. Old world decor. Nice. Okay, this is the most expensive home sold in Santa Clara County in Los Altos Hills, not my listing, Sunset Drive, 7-bedroom, 7.5 baths, 7,800 square feet. Palo Alto, it's worth more for a smaller house. But this is also brand new. This is built in 2025. So somebody came over here and bought the land, which is just over an acre, and then they put probably a $2 million worth on it, and then they sold it. There you go. That's the way to do it right there. These are landscape, these are portraits. Like, why would you do that? Why would you put a bunch of portrait photos? And in the beginning, I thought it's just an iPhone photo shoot, but it's not. These are professional photos, and you can tell, right? I mean, I can tell. I've been doing photography long enough that I can figure that kind of stuff out. This is a nice house, though. Somebody got a great deal on it. Okay, this is the lowest priced home sold in Santa Clara County on Chiquita Road. It took exactly 98 days to sell. Original price was $745. I talked about this one a lot. Finally sold for $580, probably for the 10 acres of land. $58,000 an acre, not so bad. And this is the highest list price to sales price ratio. I had it 128% over list price. The original list price was 2.5, sold for 3.2. 3-bedroom, 1 bath, crazy. Morris Drive in Palo Alto took 7 days to sell. Nothing special about it other than the land, which is not even all that big. Everything on the west side of 17 is doing really well right now. And this is the lowest list price to sales price, 75%. Original list price was 16 million. Took 755 days to sell. Okay, so this 5-bedroom, 3.5 bath in Palo Alto, list price 16, sold price 12. It has an ADU, 5,300 square feet, 5-bedroom, 3.5 baths. There's an apartment over a garage, that's probably what I could afford. Okay, 755 days to sell. That is persistence. I'll give you that. Yeah, nothing. $12 million for an old house. I get it. It's the style, and it's not really my style. So